crash, honey yacht, dash, honey yacht, dash, honey yacht, dash, honey yacht, dash, honey yacht, dash. S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. Early I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yeah.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop.
Coach, there will be time for reflection, certainly as the season goes on, but for what might be the final time in the East Bay, it is opening night of the NFL season here in Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready! 50, plant.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Let's go.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
54. Any weapons.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. Finds his rookie first rounder. It's Noah Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Fant, the first-round pick out of Iowa, taken 20th overall, second tight end taken in the draft. Amazingly, the second Iowa tight end taken in the draft, his teammate T.J. Hockenson, 8th overall. He was selected by the Lions, but Noah Fant really wowed everyone in Indianapolis at the Combine, and now trying to parlay that into an impressive NFL career.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
54 Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Marcus, defense, Marcus. Kill.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Set. 60 or.
You're not ready. Mike Farquhar.
Go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Let's go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Locke now on 1st down. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Yeah, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. And he comes back with one complete. Give him 8 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. This is Josh Jacobs, the Alabama man, with his first NFL carry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
You ready? Take 4.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Check, 47. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
From the 36, Carr. His throw incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Good play there to step in and knock that one away by Chris Harris.
Who said that he couldn't play in the NFL?
Not me.
Hey, not you. A lot of scouts did, a lot of people, undrafted, and has turned himself into a Pro Bowl cornerback, one that really knows how to play the position.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Hey, Alpha.
Lock to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Lock to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. 9 yards that time. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team, because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Clock now on 1st down. This is the tight end Fant. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. A nice little catch and run to get the good yardage.
You can't block me.
Go.
54.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2 as they come up now 2nd and goal. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Go! Yeah!
Check three. Wide, get wide. SOS.
One more time with Lindsey, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Broncos have taken the lead. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so...
He's got him in, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Tighten up.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a carry for Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Shotgun now for Carr. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Carr gives to Rashard. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down.
Jim.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Tight end right. Tight end right. Hey, we got 4. Got 4 down. 4 down. Raider 1. 47 right.
From the gun, it's Carr. That's complete right around the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The kick by Carlson is good. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's get it together, Pete.
Hey, Haywood.
Here's Locke to throw. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
First down, Denver.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Block now. 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Mike is 59. Mike is 50. Go. Let's go. Now.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The end result, 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 34-yard line.
Here we go. 10-2 stop.
Drop deep.
On 2nd and 12, Locke. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Check 15. Let's go.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. Locke going to bring the offense up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Freeman. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. On second and a couple. Locke under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked at the 10. William Hayes, the pride of Winston-Salem State, coming in to drop him. The Broncos on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Clock now to throw. Now he steps away. He can run for it, and he will. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
A 22-yard attempt.
And McManus able to put it through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Line of scrimmage, again to 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Out time, guys, out time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Bang, bang, bang.
Throwing again. Carr. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Now Carr. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. So we have reached halftime here in the final game of opening weekend 2019. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 27, Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, unless there's a postseason meeting later in the year, this is most likely the final time that the Broncos and Raiders will play in Oakland. Of course, so much history between the two since their inaugural season in the AFL back in 1960. Broncos and Raiders, they've been locked together in the same division, facing off twice a season. And this rivalry also stands as the most common pairing for Monday night games like we have here 18 times. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. 61 yards. How about the rookie in his NFL debut? Looking sharp. It's first and 10. They'll run here with Lindsey. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
X3, 218, chop.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Locke going to try and throw on third down. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
A 33-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On play action, it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Set. 60 outlaw.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On second down, it's Lindsey, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ready up.
Check right 54. Right 54. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win home.
On first down, Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clelin Ferrell, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further.
Hey, orbit.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing now is Locke. Screen pass to Lindsey. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Locke now on 3rd and goal. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Come on, set. 10-2 stop.
Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
Go.
Hey, watch that.
Shoot.
On first down, Lindsey. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 43-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Gotta do better. Come on, Q.
Roll out.
Check 24.
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's taken down inside the 30. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
An 8-yard pickup. And the Broncos first down.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go. Set. 60 Pittsburgh. 54.
He can't, man. He's not going to get me.
Let's go.
On first down, Lindsey, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here we go. Entry Gator.
Here we go. Mike 5-4.
And down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Locke. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Noah Fant with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Broncos push further out in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On the ready.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Rip right, rip right.
They'll run on first down. Freeman. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I'm here all day.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready? 30 base.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
On third down, here's Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
You're mine.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Steps away to his left. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On the draw, Richard. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
White down. 185. Switch up. Switch up.
On 1st down, Carr. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Grant. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
That's another Raiders.
Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Carr. This is caught, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, 30 yards. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsay, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Looking to throw again on second down. Carr. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He gets it to Brown, complete. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers and the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger, so he ends up being traded to the Raiders. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Raiders' 30-yard line.
54 Mike.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Here we go, here we go.
And they take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 4th down.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This will be from 49 yards out. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Broncos, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.